made On Ridgeway Sports Podcast, episode 40. Hunter Keister back with.
Hey Mac, we back. Let's go, episode 40. Let's go.
Here we go, bringing you guys some college football on this Friday night before week 8 in the season. Starting off, the Wolverines, Michigan, our favorite team, has a bye week, so we are able to sit back, relax this week, focus on Little Brother and the Spartans for next week, and kind of to have a nice, relaxing, interesting day around college football, as there are some interesting matchups that could take place. Before we get into all the good ones, we will talk about the first matchup of the day, and that is Ohio State and Iowa in Columbus. Big noon kickoff. Finally has to go somewhere else because it can't go to Ann Arbor. So it shows Columbus follows the Buckeyes as they take on the Hawkeyes in that terrible Iowa offense.
Putrid offense.
Kurt and I were talking as we went to the Michigan Madness 2022 event, and I said that if Iowa could kind of give Ohio State some fits here with their defense early on, I think that eventually the lack of scoring from Iowa's offense will eventually lead to their downfall. But I think that early on, Iowa and that very good defense could show C.J. Stroud some problems. So I'm very interested to watch that game and see how he responds to a pretty good Iowa defense, I would say, until the lack of scoring takes over.
Yeah,
but
that's how I expect it to go, too.
I expect this game to be kind of close in the first half, maybe a field goal to a 7-point advantage from one side or the other. But coming out of the break, and especially in the fourth quarter, I think Ohio State pulls away and probably wins this game by 13 or more.
Yeah, give me Ohio State like 42-7, 42-10. No debate.
Gotcha. Easy win for Ohio State to improve them to
Iowa's offense is terrible.
Yep, improve them to 7-0. Next game, Tennessee versus UT Martin. UT Martin is 4-2. They're taking on the number 3 team in the country, the 6-0 Tennessee Volunteers. Carter, how do you see this matchup going?
I think Tennessee rolls on after that strong win versus Alabama last week. Crazy game that was to watch. Overtime win for Tennessee. I think they keep it going. I think they keep this win streak going and move to 7-0 against UT Martin.
Yeah, I definitely do like Tennessee to keep rolling, keep that number 3 spot held down for at least another week, and I think they get a big, probably a pretty big 14-17 point win against UT Martin.
Absolutely.
Getting into a really good noon matchup on ABC, an ACC matchup from Clemson, as the Clemson Tigers take on the Qs,
Syracuse.
14 Syracuse, 5 Clemson, both undefeated, 6-0 Syracuse, 7-0 Clemson. This is a really good matchup now.
Clemson's favorite, 14 points.
That's I mean, at home, you kind of expect that, I guess.
Clemson's had some interesting matchups. I think I like Syracuse to keep this close. But I think ultimately Clemson will prevail and win, though. But I think Syracuse keeps it close.
Yeah, this to me is definitely a close game.
I don't see Clemson winning by 14.
No, I see 10 or less. 10 to 7 is probably my guess. Clemson's way, but I think this game is close all the way throughout, and should be one to definitely we'll have to keep eyes on as we're watching throughout the day. So, yep, give us both Clemson, but a close game, and Syracuse keeps it respectable for sure. Cincinnati, SMU on ESPN. Cincinnati has their one loss coming to Arkansas to begin the year. Since then, they've been good against their minimal opponents, but SMU looks to improve and get a statement win over a 5-1 Cincinnati team as they come in 3-3 Kurt, what do you think of this matchup? American League from Dallas, Texas. I believe that is the home of the SMU.
Cincinnati's favored by 3. Give me an upset here. Give me SMU to pull it off. I think the Mustangs pull it off.
Okay. Kurt's taking the upset.
There's upsets every week. I got to pick one. Give me this one.
Kurt takes the upset. I'm going to take the Bearcats of Cincinnati to improve to 6-1 on the road and get a win. So there you go with that. Ole Miss, number 7 in the country, 7-0, taking on LSU, 5-2.
3:30 game.
3:30 game in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Gonna be a crazy game. That should be a real good one. The line is, what is that? LSU
1. LSU's the favorite.
LSU's favored by 1.
Favored by 1.
I like that. I'm going with the Tigers. Give me the LSU Tigers in this one, in the upset of the 7 Ole Miss Rebels.
No way, Jose. Ole Miss is coming out of Baton Rouge with a dub. Ole Miss Rebels with the dub. Give me 27-24 Ole Miss.
Look at these. A trio of incredible 3:30 games. We're going to be down here with 3 monitors tomorrow watching all these games. 3:30. The next one. Number 9 UCLA. Ooh. Number 10 Oregon. Pac-12 matchup from Eugene, Oregon. I mean, another insane matchup. 6-0 UCLA. Red hot. 5-1 Oregon. Number 10 versus number 9. Oregon, after their trouncing loss to Georgia, has turned around. They have a nice win over BYU under their belt, but this is obviously their hardest game since their defeat to Georgia, and it'll be interesting to see how they come to play. They get the home matchup, 3:30, but UCLA has been playing some really good football as of late. Their defense is skeptical. They give up 32 to Utah. They're ranked 11, but 32 is still a lot. The 15 Washington Huskies put up 32 on you in a 40-32 win. South Alabama puts up 31 on you a few weeks ago. So your defense has definitely been questionable, but you found ways to win thus far, and you find yourself 6-0 and number 9 in the country. Kurt, this is an incredible matchup. Where are you going with this?
I do like this game a lot. This is going to be a really good game. But I got to go with Oregon on this one. I really like the way Bo Nix has been playing. Versatility, run it, pass it. And with UCLA, with that defense, man, I don't like that matchup. Oregon's so fast. They can score fast. Since that Georgia game, they've looked great. Oregon's the favorite, 6.5 points. Give me Oregon here, and I think they beat them by 10. I think they beat UCLA by 10. I think that offense just proves to be too much to handle. I like the way they've competed this year.
Right. I also did like the Ducks. I think UCLA and that offense I like a lot. Zach Charbonnet is looking really good for them, which makes me happy. Former Wolverine. Nonetheless, I think Oregon just has a better defense, and like Kurt mentioned, that defense, and like I mentioned earlier, is suspect and had some holes in it, and I think Bo Nix is able to exploit some of those holes that comes, and they give UCLA their first real competition, and I think they get a close 3 to 7 point.
It's just hard.
Probably nothing more than 10 points.
You allow 30-plus points to those other teams. Oregon's offense is better than all those teams'
yeah,
offense.
like what's Bo Nix going to be able to do with that? So, yeah, give me a 10-point max win, but a nice close game, but a win for Oregon nonetheless. To finish off the trio of good Big 3:30 games, it is a Texas, number 20, playing Oklahoma State, number 11, in Oklahoma State, in Boone Pickens Stadium. Big 12 matchup. Bijan Robinson, Xavier Worthy, coming in, and 5-2 versus 5-1. What a matchup. Kurt, what do you think?
Texas is the favorite here by 6, but I don't see it. I think Oklahoma State's going to hold strong at home. Number 11, Texas. I don't think Quentin Ewers is playing back. I think he's gone.
I think he might be.
Is he back?
I think he might be back. I think.
I'm going to assume he's not. I like Oklahoma State in this matchup I think this will be a high-scoring game, though. I think that much. I think it's going to be a higher-scoring game.
Yeah. Big 12 matchup, no defense whatsoever.
That's just how it is in the Big 12.
Yeah.
Lots of points.
Probably 7-point game.
70-plus points. Like 30. Like you're talking 70 points total in this game at least.
Yeah.
But give me Oklahoma State. Give me Oklahoma State to hold strong at home.
Wow. Would give Texas their third loss. And I think I'm leading. This is really close to me, man. I like both these teams. Saunders for Oklahoma State has looked incredible. Bijan Robinson for Texas has looked unstoppable. Xavier Worthy makes me wish he was playing for Michigan every single time I watch his highlights. This is close, man. This is a really close matchup. You know what?
If you had to pick one, if you had to put,
the betting lines are on Texas. I'm taking Oklahoma State.
I just don't see it by 6.
I'm taking Oklahoma State by no more than 7 points. Crazy close game. Like I said, those 3:30 matchups are incredible, and I want to try to watch every single second of every one of those games. So, crazy games, good games, and that should be a really, really good matchup. Moving on though, Boston College 2-4 versus 13 Wake Forest 5-1. I think this is a nice and easy win for Wake Forest.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a smooth sailing trip for Wake Forest. They'll get a solid win versus Boston College for sure.
4-3 Memphis taking on 25 Tulane 6-1. American matchup 2-2 in the conference for Memphis, 3-0 in the conference for Tulane. Memphis quarterback has 1,900 yards passing already, so that's not too bad. 12 touchdowns, 400 yards rushing for Tulane's running back and 8 touchdowns, and 300 yards receiving and a touchdown for their best receiver for Tulane. This matchup is in New Orleans, so that is the home of the Tulane, right? Yep.
Yeah.
And give me Memphis. Give me Memphis in this one. In the upset. Take Memphis.
Yeah, turn that M upside down and get a dub, Memphis. Coming out of Tulane with a win. Memphis with the upset. Give me Memphis. 28-21.
Nice. Real close game. Now we are getting into the night games where we have another couple decent ones here. I mean, even the Big Ten one is decent, but these two ones really stand out. Starting off with Mississippi State, Alabama. How does Alabama, Bryce Young and company, respond to the loss? You know how Nick Saban, he doesn't respond well to losses, and usually he doesn't take too many in the regular season especially. And now he's got to come out, his home crowd, nighttime, and he's got to respond against the 24 team Mississippi State, who's no slouch at 5-2.
Absolutely.
Great matchup here. Tough matchup for Alabama to try to respond after the tough loss to Tennessee. What do you think, Hart?
It's hard for me to pick against Saban coming off of a loss. So I'm going to pick them to win the game. They're favored by 21. I don't think they'll beat them by 21. I'd say about like 10, maybe 13. I think Alabama bounces back, though, and has a good showing, I think, Saturday night. I think they'll beat Mississippi State and get back on track.
Yeah, I like Mississippi State to keep it relatively close, not to get blown out of the waters, but a nice 13 to 17 point win for me sounds about right.
That's where I'm at.
Alabama kind of shows their offensive muscle, flexes a little bit, and their defense tightens up after a rough showing against Tennessee, and they come out and get the win at home to improve to 7-1. Moving on, Minnesota, Penn State. a really huge Big Ten matchup as Penn State is ranked with 1 loss, but Minnesota, with only having 2 losses, needs a Big Ten win, being 1-2 in conference play this far. They could really use a win in Big Ten play. It is in Beaver Stadium in Penn State, so that could play a huge factor.
Oh, no, it does.
7:30 p.m. Kurt, who you got in this one?
Penn State coming off of a big loss last week, They got dominated by Michigan. Curious to see how they bounce back this week in a close matchup, I think, with Minnesota. Minnesota going into Penn State at night. Are they going to do the whiteout thing? I mean, what's that called?
The whiteout, the stripe out.
Yeah, they're going to do that. Yeah. I mean, maybe they'll pull it out. I like Minnesota to keep it close, but I do think Penn State pulls it out. But I think it's going to be a really close game. And I think Minnesota has a good chance of winning it. But it's hard to pick them because they are 1-2.
Minnesota's offense these past 2 weeks, especially against lesser competition. Purdue, they put up 10 points in a 20-10 loss, and against 24 ranked.
I can't pick them though because 1-2 in conference play is not a good
24 ranked
look.
Illinois, they put up 14 points. So
just
that alone, I just don't think their offense has enough to beat Penn State. I think they can keep it close, maybe lose by 10-17, but ultimately. Are you going Penn?
I'm going Penn State. I'm going Penn State, but I think Minnesota competes good.
Yeah. Good matchup for sure. Last matchup of the night, and it's a good one. Kansas State, TCU, another Big 12 showdown at 8 o'clock. Number 17, Kansas State. Number 8, TCU. Kansas State with their 1 loss. TCU undefeated. Kansas State's lone loss is to ranked Tulane, but they have a big win over Oklahoma in their belt, and they beat Iowa State, who's also a good team. But their slate gets really tough with TCU, Oklahoma State, Texas, then Baylor in the next 4 weeks. So, tough slate for Kansas State, and it starts here with a prime time showing against undefeated TCU. Kurt, what happened to this game?
I gotta say, TCU's the favorite, and I'm taking Kansas State.
Wow.
I've really liked the way Adrian Martinez has played a lot this year. Hybrid, dual threat, passing the ball, running the ball, just getting yards. I think he has a big showing Saturday night and comes out with the win. Taking Kansas State to pull it off.
Nice. I like this game to be really close.
This is going to be, I think this might be one of the best games of the day.
Yes, this definitely has game of the night.
5-1 Kansas State, 6-0 TCU.
You guys do not want to miss this game. Definitely a big 8 o'clock matchup. I'm going to go the way of TCU. I love the way Max Duggan has come in and played in his starts for TCU. A great game, a back and forth, no defense, all offense, shootout.
I see lots of points. Lots of points.
Probably like a 52-49 kind of game, to be honest. I love a high-scoring matchup like that, but give me TCU in a really close shootout to close out a really good, solid week 8 of college football.
Yeah, considering there's no Michigan tomorrow. Yep. These are some great matchups, great games.
For not having Michigan, it will definitely be a college football weekend worth watching for sure. So, that will pretty much do it as we previewed all the games. We will be back tomorrow to cover the NFL side.
Yep.
And
we're back.
Yeah, we're back. Had some some live stuff come up, but come back full force, and now we're all
we're back on track.
Yeah, we're getting back on track now. So everything's all good with that. We will see you tomorrow, and hope you guys enjoyed this one.
Episode 40, share it, love it.
40, share it, like it, subscribe, follow us on Twitter. We got links in the bio for everything, so.
Absolutely.
Right. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let's get it, let's go.
Let's go.
Peace.